Hey, this is Don Walters coming to you from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that's www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Just want to talk to you about a little short subject here. The informed consent, known in the industry as the ICF. Anytime you go into a clinical study, you have to fill out one of those forms, and that form divulges all the study information, the risk involved, what the study entails, what to look forward to, who the investigator is, who the independent review board is, and that kind of information, the sponsor, so forth and so on. Documents usually about maybe somewhere between 15 to 20 pages long, and then of course behind that is the Bill of Rights. And if you've ever been in a hospital, you've seen the Bill of Rights. But here's the thing that we were talking about recently, and just talking to a few clients that have participated in studies. And even though you go through the informed consent with some of these people, do they really understand it? The other thing too, if you leave it for them to read, do they really read it? And even when you go through it with them to detail the information to make sure they understand and they nod yes and no. Again, the question is, do they understand it? I mean, I know when I go, and for instance, when I bought my house, I didn't read all those documents. I started to glance through some of that stuff, and it started to make my head hurt. So, I mean, even though what we're talking about is probably just a tenth of the amount of pages you fill out if you were filling out for purchasing a house, there's still a lot of documents, and there's still a lot of industry jargon that's listed in there. And you may not understand it. You don't know what the average person doesn't know what an IRB is and things like that. And an investigator, who's the investigator, or a PI and sponsor, and those kind of names. We have to explain it to them. But again, the big question is, do they understand it? And do they fully read the whole document? And what I'm finding out, they always don't. If you leave it to the client, a lot of times they don't read the full document. Even when you explain it to them, what I'm finding the best thing to do is to have them, once you explain something to them in that document, is to have them repeat it back to you that they understand. And I know this can be really difficult if you're dealing with someone who's definitely a slow reader, or whose reading ability is not that great. It takes a lot of time. I mean, you could be there for quite a long time, but you need to make sure that whatever the gist of the bulk of material that you cover with them, and that you ask, hey, do you understand this? Tell me what you understand, and make sure that they got it in their head, because if they just say, yes, I understand it, there's a good chance they don't. And don't know if they come back and bite you, but we always want to be on the safe side. Anyway, this is Don signing off from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that's www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com. And we thank you, and we say goodbye.